First, make sure the beaker will clean properly. Then, pour the water sample into the beaker. Pour the water sample into all of the 6 beakers up until 1000 ml. Then pour the coagulant of ferric chloride into 250 ml beaker. Then label all 6 beakers properly. Carefully, using syringe, take up to 1 ml of coagulant and pour it into the water sample. Since there are 6 bottles, the first one will be without coagulant or blank, and the next one will be 1 ml, and the next will be 2 ml, and so on. Then properly place the beakers in the jar test machine. Then the mixer was turned on and mixed at 140 rpm for 3 minutes in rapid mixing. And then the mixer was mixed at 70 rpm for 5 minutes. Then the mixer was turned off at 0 rpm and let it rest for 15 minutes. Then pour the sample into the scale cylinder for about 10 ml. Then pour it into the turbidity bottle. Then repeat it for all 6 beakers of sample. Then close all of the sample cells and insert the sample cells into the turbidity meter for our first test, the turbidity test. Repeat for all samples. All of 6 readings of turbidity were observed and recorded. For our next test, pour the water samples into 6 square samples for about 10 ml. Then we can proceed to the next test, which is the color test. First, turn on the spectrophotometer and choose program color 465. Then enter the blank sample and set 0. Then enter our first sample and then press read. Then the readings of the spectrophotometer was observed and recorded. Repeat the procedure for all the samples. For the next test is the pH test. For precaution measures, rinse the top of the apparatus with distilled water before start the test. Then the thumb of the pH meter was put into the water sample. Once it's stabilized, press read on the pH meter and wait for the reading. Then repeat the procedure again for another beaker. The readings were observed and recorded. The readings were usually taken once the pH meter gives a stabilized reading.